name is Paul Watts. I own Watts Removal Products. Watts Removal Products is the only product warranty approved by Sherwin-Williams to use on their painted coil. So any coil that comes out for Sherwin-Williams that has paint on it, the Sherwin-Williams paint is warranted by Sherwin-Williams to remove any mark on any surface. So we have coil up here with Sherwin-Williams paint on it. And a lot of the times, whether you're putting on a roof or siding or things like that, what will happen is that there'll be maybe a painter will come in and get overspray. He's painting the gutters, he gets overspray on the roof. Or maybe there's butyl tape. We have butyl tape here that gets warm on the roof. Butyl tape is put on. A sub or somebody comes through, walks on it, and then drapes it all the way across the roof. So we tout any mark on any surface. So for here we have, this is oil-based paint that's on this paint here. We have metallic that it's over here. We can actually remove old strippable film without actually damaging the surface of the paint here. Remove this strippable film and save a lot of metal without having to reorder the metal, have it rebent and everything else and come back out. So again, any mark on any surface on Sherwin-Williams paint on their coil product. So we'll do a couple demonstrations. This here, it's as simple as a brush-on wipe-off for us. Our products are formulated to encapsulate a layer of paint, a layer of strippable film. The film on there is permeable, so we can put our Clean Sweep product on. It'll permeate the strippable film, and then we can just pull it right off. Wait about 20 minutes or so, depending on how warm it is outside. So 2 products have been approved by Sherwin-Williams for their coil. One is Crossover, and the other one is Clean Sweep. Clean Sweep is specifically used for paint, overspray, butyl tape, strippable film. Crossover is more of a general all-purpose cleaner. So that would be for maybe cleaning the roof that has, every year you want to clean your roof, your metal roof out there, so you have sap, you have environmental staining, you have algae, things like that. You'll want to use Crossover for that. If you don't use Crossover to clean your metal roof or your panels, and you're using something else, like another off-brand product, you're going to void the warranty on your roof. You're going to void the warranty on your panels. So doing your research, finding out which products you can use is very important. So something like this, it's as easy as, and then just with a little demonstration here, we're just going to put some product on here. We're going to let that kind of run down. And what's going to happen, you'll see it, it'll encapsulate this paint, and this is oil-based paint. It'll encapsulate this paint. It'll actually start to dissolve it, and you'll see it actually, just with the pressure from the spray, it'll actually start to run down. And I don't care if this is oil-based paint, if it's lacquer, if it's a 2-part catalyzed urethane on this. It'll actually dissolve that. Then you can actually take a garden hose or a brush or something, take a rag, and then you can just wipe it off. So it's easy as a brush-on wipe-off on that. Metallic, the same way. You would put this on, whether it's on the metal here or here. And the great thing about this is you don't need to put it in a big pump sprayer. You can do it with a bucket and a brush. Maybe you just have little spots you can do. Doesn't take very long to actually have it work, and then just wipe it off. No scratchy pad, no steel wool, no wire brush, nothing. Again, warranty approved by Sherwin-Williams. So the Crossover and the Crossover Wash. So we were getting asked by a lot of contractors that were going out on roofs and applying the Crossover Wash. We like to dilute that like a 5-to-1 to put it on as a general maintenance. For some reason, they had a hard time trying to figure out a 5-to-1 dilution ratio over 5 parts water, 1 part product into a pump sprayer. So we know contractors aren't going to use these little ones, but they're going to use this for a test, right? As a contractor myself, I'm not going to buy 100 gallons worth of product that I don't know whether it works or not. So we put this in a little applicator. You've probably seen these at Home Depot or Lowe's or other areas. It has a garden sprayer on it. And this is brand spanking new. It comes out Q1. Has the product in it. Crossover. Hook up your garden hose sprayer. Automatically dilutes it. No thinking. Automatically dilutes it 5-to-1 with water. Shoot it on the roof. You have 2 different sprays. You have a fan spray and you have a stream spray. The stream shoots 25 feet. So no getting up on the roof. I mean, we have here at the show, we have, GAF over here, we have ABC, we have all these larger, material companies, right? And they're selling roofing. Don't get up on your, if you can avoid it, don't get up on your roof to clean it. Shoot it from the ground. I can tell you right now that the industry out there, the soft wash industry out there, they don't even know what they're doing, as in they're going around and avoiding every single metal roof that they're washing. So if they're washing a roof that has Sherwin-Williams paint on it, which we know the majority of roofs and panels are Sherwin-Williams, if they're using a soft wash method of bleach, surfactants, and some type of soap, and they're mixing it in their little proportioner, and guys, I have a soft wash truck, so I know what I'm talking about. If they're mixing that on site and washing metal, they're voiding the roof. So any homeowner, any building owner that finds out the method that they're using, they'll be owed a whole new roof if they wanted to. Crossover wash will not void that warranty. So, and we're working with a couple of soft wash companies to get them to understand and kind of change their way of thinking a little bit, that there's an easier method to do that. And what I mean by that is that when we spray crossover wash on, it has a little bit of SH in it, which we all need to kill moss, algae, and mold. But for let's say a shingle roof, we could take this shingle here, if I can get it, and we could put crossover wash on it here and wait 15-20 minutes, and it would look like that. So same thing with metal. Don't get up there, don't scrub it, don't walk on the roof if you can avoid, especially walking on a metal roof after it's already installed. It's probably not a good idea with the seams and everything. And we can do that. So crossover wash for your general maintenance. Now, obviously going to the shows and talking to contractors, everything here is voice to customer. I'm not coming up with new things that I think people need help with. So we had a lot of contractors asking us, what about rust? How do we get the rust off metal? How do we get the rust, the shavings, when they cut a piece of metal and unfortunately the shards fall on the roof below and kind of melt into the surface? So we've come up with an answer with that. Now, this product is brand spanking new. It's at the Sherwin-Williams lab now to be approved. So, we're hoping it goes that direction. But I'll show you a little sample of how our rust remover works. And keep in mind, our rust remover is 100% water soluble. So I don't care if it's next to a waterway. I don't care if it's next to plants. We get a lot of contractors take a magic marker pen, whether it be red or different colors, and mark their areas that they're going to cut. And like, oh, no, I'm not going to cut that area, scribble it out. So Clean Sweep 2, for those little areas, we put it in a handy little wipe format. You can actually come up here, just really simple, put it on there. You'll see as the magic marker dissolves, it actually suspends the magic marker, doesn't allow it to redeposit back onto the surface, and then you can just wipe it off. Okay. This is our rust. The rust is interesting because the iron oxide in that rust is really difficult to get out. It stains the surface. We had a barn in Indiana, and the iron oxide that was in the water, the back of the barn looked like this. So that was spraying on that for about a year and a half. Typically, you replace the metal. You have to take everything off, order some more metal, have it bent, have your contractor come out and put it on. But now, with our new product, and this is kind of what, I don't know why I have a Terminator arm there, but kind of glowing. We put it on with a pump sprayer, and we put it on with that pump sprayer, and then 5 minutes later, it looks like this. So this is the rusted panel, and these are side by side. These aren't cut and spliced and Photoshopped. This is directly side by side on one piece of metal. It'll look like this, and we rinse it off with a garden hose on there. And then this typical gentleman that had the barn had prize goats right next to it, so he's really concerned about any type of water runoff or anything else. But removing that rust off those panels, the irrigation staining was key for that. Thank you. So we're going to do a little rust removal here. I spent a week and a half in my shop cutting metal and having my guys cut metal to get these little shards to rust on the metal, just like they would out on site. But we're going to apply our new rust remover on this metal right here. And I don't care if it's metal from a gutter coming onto a really cheap 20-year-old flat exterior paint. We can remove it without damaging that paint. But we can actually put this on. And what I want you to see is it's going to take that rust. It's going to dissolve it. And as it's dissolving it, you'll see here it's going to break up all those little rust particles. And again, it's everybody wear your proper PPEs, your glasses, your gloves, everything else. But it's going to break up that rust. And it's only going in after the iron oxide. Now let me explain. Anything to break up iron oxide has to be acid base. This is what's called a buffered acid, and this is only 2 months old out of my lab. The buffered, it means it's buffered against organic. I could pour it on a plant, a rose bush. I could have them on my hands, which you shouldn't do, but it's buffered against the organic that I have. Then you can actually take with this, you can either rinse it off with a hose, or you can just wipe it off, and that rust is 100% gone. Now, it's not going to kill the rust, but it's going to remove that rust staining that's on there, and then you're going to either be able to paint it, prep it, get those little shards out of it, because it's going to keep rusting if you don't get those out. So that one right now is hopefully in the lab at Sherwin-Williams, going to be approved for any type of removal of rust and things on metal. And then we'll just keep going down the list as customers and contractors come to us with problems and issues. We just want to be the problem solver. We want to solve your problem, help you make more money, help you get out there and see more customers, and kind of be the hero of your own story. So thanks, folks. Remember, folks, if you can remove some of it, you can remove all of it. Paul from Watts Removal Products.